okapi there to your right-hand side, way over there hiding behind the bushes. Okapis are one of the only known living relatives to the giraffe, as they share an identical head bone structure and a very similar tongue. Their tongue actually is so long they can reach up and lick their own eyeballs and nostrils with very good ease and accuracy. As they themselves are roughly a 5-foot tall creature, weighing between 800 to 1,000 pounds. And off there to the left-hand side is a black rhinoceros.
Oh my god, it's a rhino!
That's a 3,000 pound creature which typically is found by itself. They're very solitary creatures, they enjoy the personal space. Now, there are a few times you'll find these creatures next to one another. Namely, at nighttime near a watering hole, you might find the two of them looking to get a bit more acquainted with each other. Or they might be able to find mothers with young ones. Mothers actually don't separate from the young until they have reached their full age of maturity, ranging between 7 to 10 years of age. And their average lifespan is between 30 to 40 years of age. They have a minimum running speed of 30 miles per hour, but can travel up to 35 miles per hour sometimes. Now up here to the left-hand side, you'll see on top of the hill some bongos. Bongos do have a nickname being called Ghost of the Forest. They know how to use the terrain to their advantage to hide and disappear. Then you have the greater kudus. Greater kudus are a cousin of the antelopes. They stand up to 5 feet tall, weigh around 750 pounds. And only males have horns, females don't have any. But the next stop in their journey is going to be the Safi River. Come up here to the right hand side. Up the very top here, you'll see some humans. Right below them, you'll see a Nile hippopotamus munching on some, looks to be romaine lettuce today. Hippos do eat quite a bit, roughly 80 pounds. These remain sitting friends, especially little ones. About 80 pounds of food throughout the day, most around the shorelines. They also eat grass and vegetables when they find it. Now the birds over there, those are the pink-backed pelicans. Their diet mostly is revolving around small fish. As they are a 12 to 22 pound bird with pink feathers on them, the feathers are much more vibrant in their colors when they're closer to their mating season time. The group of them is known as a pod of pelicans.
Pod of pelicans! That's awesome. That's very good.
Trying to see if there's anything else throughout the rivers here. Don't quite see anything within this view. Though I am seeing over here to our far the left hand side will be some Nile crocodiles.
Crocodiles.
These are 15 to 20 foot long creatures weighing between 500 to 1,000 pounds. And you also find that they're very cold-blooded. For them to even adjust to regulate their own body temperatures, all they gotta do is open and expand their mouths. Now, when they're catching on the shoreline here, they're just known as bass. Well, that because they actually bass in the sunlight. And the next stop of their journey is going to be the Savannah region. Now, Savannah is quite a large area. It's divided into 2 areas, an east side and a west side. Right now, we are heading towards the west.
Yeah.
Don't mind me, it's my first day.
Now up here to your right hand side, you'll see the baobab tree. And those trees can live to be thousands of years old and can retain nearly 30,000 gallons worth of water. Now, 9 months out there, they are leafless to eventually got the nickname the upside down tree. Because it is how the
Upside down tree.
Upside down tree.
But I'm pretty sure that is enough barking about that tree. I see you're a splinter group. And I do see a few animals off here in the distance, so they are kind of tucked off in the way farther area. Around the afternoon time, animals do tend to find a place where they just take their afternoon nap from time to time. But as you can see, the savannah is a very large, wide open plains area, and animals around here really do help out one another, especially if they're members of the host stock. Which actually, if you look there to your right hand side, you might see some heart-mounted zebras. We'll see about getting closer to them. They are over there. They're just a little hard to see at this point. But one thing they do throughout the day is they'll go around to one another and they teach each other how they warn when a predator is nearby. Now, they all have their different way of doing this. Some animals actually jump straight up in the air, others run in a very unique pattern, some even use their vocals. Whatever the case is, when they're teaching to each other during the daytime, it helps them be more aware of their surroundings both during the day, but especially during the nighttime, because it does become very hard to see, even though it's an open area. If there's no moon out, it's very hard to see. So what happens is the animals actually come very close to each other, and they actually stay within a certain proximity. So if they see or hear those alarm signals, they know what it to be, and they know either to avoid the area or to hightail it out of the area. Alright, this is going to be a little hard to see. So if you see that very large rock wall over there, in the very middle of it, near a little cave right there, you can see there's a little creature laying down right there. That's an African painted dog laying down right there. It is one of the most accomplished predators of the wild, as they have the capability of maintaining a running speed of 40 miles per hour for nearly 6.5 miles straight. They can maintain their speed. Pretty much they run prey down either till pure exhaustion or till they are fully dehydrated. Now also off here to the left hand side, laying in the far back corner, the sable antelopes, a creature with a short lifespan of only 17 to 18 years of age. And then the gray animals here are the white-bearded wildebeest, a migratory creature that migrates between 500 to 1,000 miles every year, so they're constantly moving. But the size of the herd, well, that's constantly changing. Friends, my road too, having little ones sit down, as you are not Rafiki, they're not Simba. And so the size of herds could be in the low hundreds, but they have been known to travel in tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, as there is 1.5 million of them in the wild today. Now, these large mounds of dirt around us are termite mounds. Mostly are constructed from saliva, dirt, but their most important ingredient is actually animal dung. Because when these three things are combined, these mounds become hard like rocks. And animals, some of them will use it as their own personal scratch posts. Others don't like what they are, so they'll knock them down like the ones to your right hand side and just kind of topple them over. And then it takes the termites a long time to rebuild them. It takes them anywhere from a year to nearly a century to get them to certain heights and thicknesses and so on. Now here to your left is a much better view of those heart-mounted zebras I mentioned earlier. Now there's a giraffe. I'm giving this a zebra, and that's because mountain is the main species they are part of. There's only 3 species of zebras in the world. And mountain zebra, they're quite easily identifiable, as they have this very thick stripe pattern on the back hind leg, while the rest of the body is this very thin pattern. Now, the Hartman comes from how far their stripes fall on them. Hartman means they fall about midway, not too high, not too low, just right in the middle of their belly. And a group of them is known as a dazzle. But a good way, if you ever want to know what stripe is on top of which, for the zebras, is actually by looking at the nose. And from what we can tell, they all have a black nose. I'm going to pause that because there's a Maasai giraffe on the far hill straight ahead. That is particularly a Maasai giraffe. As there is multiple species of giraffes throughout the world, Maasais are the ones that are known to have a messy spot pattern.
No, he's looking at us.
As there is no kind of a repetition or any kind of a cohesion you find in spot patterns at all. When stationary in one location, a group of them is known as a tower giraffes. But either one or multiple of them are moved or migrating at the same time, if they're heading in a direction, that's known as a journey of giraffes. Simply put, because they do make a journey to a new location. The person in the vehicle you see off here to the right hand side is known as the animal wardens. There's multiple of them throughout the reserve and constantly throughout the day too. They're the ones that take care of the animals, make sure it's nice as it's looking now, that the animals are healthy, they're safe, and they're happy here on the reserve.
Oh, there's a bunch
Now,
of
as mentioned, that tower giraffes, I actually do see a full group of them straight ahead in the trees coming up ahead.